Moon gang. Hello. Welcome back to another episode of Dumb Money. Hello. What is going on, folks? All right, let's get set up for the day. How's everyone this morning? We got some stuff to talk about. Definitely have a few things we should go over, discuss before the market opens. AMC, we know obviously yesterday it did not do that good whatsoever. It sold off. It is on SSR. For those of you who don't know what SSR is, it is short sale restriction. And it happens when you go down 10% on an intraday basis. So based on the previous day's close, as soon as you come down 10%, you go on an SSR. What does SSR do? It makes it more difficult to short. It doesn't make it impossible. It just makes it more difficult. This is referred to as the uptick rule, as in you can only take a short position if the stock is trending upwards. In all honesty, it does not protect us that much. It doesn't mean you can't short. It just means that it's a little bit more difficult. But we have anecdotally between AMC and GME so many times that we've been on SSR and it's just not really doing much for us. So I just want everyone to be aware about it. Yes, we are on SSR in terms of AMC, but I don't think that's like the ultimate shield, the ultimate protection from the stock getting shorted or anything like that. Like it is on it. You might hear about it, but it's not as protective as they really make it seem. But anyway, so yesterday AMC hit 35 right out of the gate, sold off throughout the day, and then in pre/post market, it bottomed out at 28.57. But now, since then, we've already bounced back to 30.50. I would love to see it take out right here. Here's my first goal on an intraday basis, right there, 31.17. And then after that, I want to see this next stop. These are my first two levels on the day. And then obviously as the day develops, we can do more and more levels. But I'm just looking at, okay, it was rejected there. We had some support there, also a little bit of rejection. So my first two watches of the day. In terms of GME, not the same severity, but very similar, I guess, looking chart. It spiked in the morning, sold off, bottomed out. And since then we're bouncing. It went from 157.80 down to 145. And now we're pushing 148. I would love to see it recapture this key psychological level of 150. The reason why psychological levels aren't so important is just because a lot of humans are buying and selling there. They're like, okay, if it breaks 150, I'll buy. Some people in earlier, they're like, if it gets there, I'm going to have a sell. So you just see a lot of price action around those levels just because that's how humans work. They love to buy and sell at those nice round levels opposed to like a random level like 150 and 80 cents. It's just easier to put in an order at 150 or somewhere, or they'll like run it by a cent like 149.99 or 150.01, stuff like that. Obviously, this isn't a golden rule, but it happens to be some sort of psychological human pattern that we do see very commonly across the stock market at large. All right, very quickly, let's go over the Ortex numbers. In terms of AMC, the numbers have increased. The short interest is up to 15.39%. Shares on loan, 100 million. Utilization, 90, let's call it 92%, because we know it's already higher today. Today, I believe as early as 8:30, they already borrowed 1.24 million shares against AMC. The short interest, taking this into account, is now bumped up to 15.57%. So like I say, across the board, short interest, shares on loan, utilization, increase. The money betting against AMC is getting larger and larger. Now, please don't misinterpret that to mean that like, oh, okay, that means like we're going to squeeze now, the numbers are going up. What this means is that there's more shorts betting against AMC. So in the scenario that we bend up, especially having a technical breakout, they're going to feel more and more pain and be more ready to hit the eject button. So really what it does is it raises the proverbial ceiling of how high this squeeze could go because you're trapping more and more shorts. That's how I would interpret the meaning of these numbers going higher and higher and higher. Remember, a higher short interest does not necessarily correlate with the increased probability of a short squeeze. Think of it more as a prerequisite. You need to have a certain short interest to get a squeeze, and then obviously as it goes higher, it means that the squeeze could go higher, but it does not increase the likelihood of said squeeze. In terms of GME, short interest high, 16.84%. Shares on loan now almost 10 million. Utilization 50%. Same thing. Short interest shares on loan utilization also for GME increase. We're seeing whatever's going on in the background, similar increases in AMC and GME, as in across the board, the shorts are getting more aggressive, they are getting more bearish, and the bets are becoming more sizable, both AMC and GME. So that's your quick rundown for that. These are the numbers we're watching out of the gate. In terms of support, obviously, we're looking for 28.60 to hold on AMC. In terms of GME, we're looking for 145 to hold. That is a previous important support. In the bottom left here, we have the Russell 2000. That's a index. Think of it, it's being tracked by the IWM ETF, exchange traded fund. Just think of it as a basket of stocks. This particular basket is tracking 2,000 small cap stocks, and the reason we watch it is because AMC is one of those 2,000. I see a little bit of, I guess, chatter, discussion on social media that people are shorting IWM to bring down AMC. I do not agree with that thesis, because there are ETFs that have larger exposure to AMC, and it makes more sense financially to short those ETFs instead of IWM. Is there a sizable bet against IWM going on right now? Yes. I just don't think it's proper to draw that correlation to trying to hurt AMC, for two reasons. One, I already listed. There's ETFs that have larger exposure to AMC, as in that basket I was talking about. It makes up a larger percentage of that basket. So with that in mind, you would short that before you would short IWM, because it's more bang for your buck. And other than that, I think a lot of this small cap thing is more of some sort of hedge, or people are fearful or scared about what the government might or might not do related to the D variant of that word that I'm not allowed to say without YouTube getting pissed off. So I think they're looking at it as a hedge of saying, okay, we know previously from February and March of last year that the government will bail out large business, but not necessarily small business. So I think if anything, this is saying, okay, like if everything hits the fan, they think that IWM could take a serious hit, and I think that's why we're seeing a sizable bet against it. Once again, yes, there is a sizable bet against the Russell 2000. I just don't know if it's necessarily related to AMC, and we know it's not related to GME, because GME is not in the Russell 2000. GME is about to get moved to the S&P 400, which is the mid-cap Standard & Poor's Index ETF, blah, blah, blah. I believe that's tracked by MDY or MYD, something like that. In the bottom right, we have Robinhood. So Robinhood is a little bit of an interesting word, or sorry, I just read this. A little bit of an interesting stock. So I've been outspoken against it. Why am I outspoken against it? Well, right here, hang on, let me read you something. This comes from the chairman, Gary Gensler, when he was talking to the House Financial Committee. And this was in reference to Robinhood. It happened in May of this year. This is his statement, the chairman of the SEC. Robinhood explicitly offered to accept less price improvement for its customers in exchange for receiving higher for payment for order flow. Customers shouldered the cost to the point zero commission structure might have still been a net loss. So basically, Robinhood was going out of its way to willing to offer such a piss poor quality execution to the point that their free trading was literally not free. It was net. It was still a net loss, as if you were paying, because they were shouldering such a burden of a piss poor payment for order flow structure. That is from the SEC chairman, Gary Gensler. So yeah, for me, it's obvious to be against them. Did they have pretty considerable user growth? Yes. Did they have pretty considerable revenue growth? Yes. I admit that those numbers are looking good. But if you look in the profitability, the most recent quarter compared to a year ago, they were profitable. Now they're swinging $500 million loss on the quarter. So it doesn't add up to me. On the surface, if you're just looking at the growth of the company, yeah, it's impressive. They went from 18 million to 22 million users. So I see some of it, but I mean, it just doesn't add up to me at all. In Q1, they had 522 million in revenue versus 128 a year ago. That's pretty impressive. but still they're looking at a loss between $487 and $537 million. So overall, it's a net loss. And right now, 63% of their previous quarter's revenue came from payment for order flow, the exact practice that is currently being looked at by the U.S. House of Representatives to potentially be outlawed. So their business model, the thing that brings them in money, literally might be outlawed in the U.S. I myself am not going to invest in a company where their money comes from a thing that might not be legal anymore. That's why I'm against it. And right now, yesterday morning in the stream, I did not have a position on Hood, and then I saw all these bots trying to support Hood, and then I was talking to Discord. I bet against Hood. I have a put. It's a medium-sized position for me. The reason I'm saying this, I just want to be completely transparent and honest with you. I am long on AMC. I am long on GME. I am short on Hood. I am short on Robinhood. I bought the August 20 puts because I just don't see it. And hang on. Now, a lot of people, when I put this out there, I was talking with Fox, Ashley on his show saying, hey, I don't like Robinhood. I don't see what's going on. Not only do its fundamentals not really add up to me, but more important than that, the narrative is very negative. I don't think there's many retail people out there who are like, oh, I'm really supportive of Robinhood. Yes, there are some people who made money on it. They're like, I see it as a trade. I'm in, I'm out. I took it. I mean, yesterday we saw that. People were in and out and put money into AMC. I don't see many retail people who are happy for Robinhood. It has a very negative narrative, like it's PR team. It must be that that meme of the dog, like I'm fine and everything's in fire in the background. That is the PR team for Robinhood, because day over day something more negative happens. They took his phone. We found that out basically in their IPO. They're like, hey, like we think other bad things might continue in the future. FINRA's looking into both Vlad, the boy from Bulgaria, and the other co-founder bot for not being registered with FINRA. That's not the biggest deal, but it's still a problem. It tells me more so that FINRA has a big issue with Robinhood and they're continually looking into them, and I don't think it's going to stop. But I think what we saw yesterday, so all that, I am short Robinhood, I'm against Robinhood, I do not support Robinhood. I do at a certain point appreciate them for what they started, more of free trading for the retail public, but now there's too many competitors that pull it off more skillfully and more honestly than they do. So I get what they were doing a couple of years ago and how that was useful, but since then, I think they've really deviated off their own path. I truly believe that. Obviously, this is my own opinion. You got to do what you want to do with your own money. I don't really care. I'm just sharing my own opinions, and I'm not a financial advisor. I'm in no way telling you what to do with your money. I'm just sharing my thoughts on the scenario. But it gets even more interesting. So right there yesterday, like the amount of people chirping me, like, what about Robinhood now? What about Robinhood? It ran 50%. The fact that it ran so much, I view that as a golden opportunity to bet against it. Here's why. So let me point this out to you, and I want to bring up a couple. It gets a little interesting right here. If you could check this out on Zero Hedge if you want to see it yourself. Man, this guy tweets a lot in the morning. This guy, he's putting out kind of just news throughout the day, any breaking news. And I just want to, where is the Robinhood? Okay. So yesterday, after the incredible run, Robinhood holders filed to sell up to 97.88 million shares. So even then, right there, after the run, the people who are long in it, they're bailing. That's, there's about how much? 800 million. So that's 12% of the company. They're like, we're selling, 12.5% roughly. The Robinhood holders could have sold in the IPO. Instead, they waited 5 days until a manipulated ramp. How is the SEC not over this? This is kind of a big deal. Zero Hedge, this is a large account. This isn't just a random schmo saying, this is a 1 million follower account on Twitter pointing this out. So they waited. They could have sold at the IPO. They waited 5 days as if, hey, maybe if there was almost a coordinated pump and dump. And then yet you see it across mainstream media. Robinhood's so great. Robinhood's so great. It's so frustratingly obvious what they're doing. Between AMC and Robinhood and GME and Robinhood, you can compare whatever you want. So for one reason they're like, oh my God, it's so fundamentally overvalued. How could you possibly be in it? That's awful. Why would you be in AMC? Why would you be in GME? It's so dangerous for people to be pumping a stock like this. When Robinhood, for the issues I just laid out, any analyst or financial commentator worth their salt would bring up the fact that the main form of their revenue literally might be outlawed in the US. And they're like, no, Robinhood's great. You got to buy it. This is an awesome investment. I feel strongly. I don't know when. I'm not a fortune teller. I don't have a crystal ball. Unfortunately, all I have is this cool light ball in the back. Eventually, karma will run into this company, in my humble opinion, and the stock will crater. That's my own opinion. I might be completely wrong, but someone needs to take note of the mainstream narrative. Of some reason, all they do is bag on AMC, bag on GME, and then what? Robinhood is somehow an amazing opportunity? Like, I just don't get it. I almost want to reach out to them and get the number of their drug dealer, because they're obviously on something pretty good, or they're just being completely two-faced. That's the options. They either have some of the best drugs known to man and they're that far off the deep end, or they just know they're being two-faced and they're just trying to get views, and like they know they're trying to piss people off, because that's like those types of emotional responses is really what does good for their views. Like, I don't think that they're being honest in their opinions when they're putting them out there, because it's just so opposite of what they're saying about AMC and GME. And I think they're literally just trying to get pissy with the Ape Nation community. It makes no sense to me. It blows my mind. And one of these days, the mic's going to drop. And I think AMC, I just don't see how it can outrun all of these problems. I mean, like, I'm only scratching the surface. The host of federal, state, like lawsuits against it, federal lawsuits, state lawsuits, Robinhood, because of what it did in January and February and its following comments, it's being sued into oblivion, folks. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know who's going to win the case, but I'm telling you, on the various federal and state levels, it is being sued. The holders who could have sold at the IPO after the ramp up, they sold. 12.5% of the company was just sold after this ramp up. Like, are you kidding me? That is, I don't know. To me, this is so blatantly obvious of what's going on that it was a pump and dump. They're even trying to say this rhetoric of like, oh, people sold AMC and GME to get hood, like as if it's part of the meme stock world. It is not. Anyone who's been following AMC or GME is not really like, oh, I'm going to sell all my shares and get Robinhood because I think this is a better meme stock. And that's the narrative they're pushing, which is so comically erroneous. Like, it's so wrong. I don't know of a single ape who's like, I'm going to take my AMC and GME position, sell it so I can buy Robinhood. I don't know of anyone that did it. It's not in the same realm of what's going on. And either they're so insanely oblivious to the retail trading narrative that is currently going on, or they're just writing and saying things that they're like, oh, okay, like, why let the truth get in the way of a good story when we could just write this article and piss a bunch of people off and get a bunch of views and clicks and make our advertisers happy? To me, it's probably really what's going on there. But I'm excited to see how this is going to play out today, because AMC, we're getting a nice bounce. GME, it is bouncing a bit. Like, we're not getting the same percentage bounce that we're seeing in AMC, but it is showing a bit of strength. And then Robinhood is showing some weakness after 100 million shares were filed to be sold. 12.5% of total outstanding shares. They're like, nah, we see the run up, we're taking our money, and we are done with this. That is so bad. Do you remember how much people freaked out when there was like 10 million shares with Mudrick or whatever, which is like, what, 1/50th of the company, as in 2%, and people lost their mind with AMC? Like, all these mainstream media, they're like, Mudrick sold. Wait, no, it wasn't even 10. It was 8 million. It was 8 million shares out of 500. And they're like, they sold 8 million shares. What? 8 million out of 500 million? Not even 2%. And then now with Robinhood, they're like, no, that's normal. It was 12.5% of the company. Are you kidding me? And then they're like, this happened in early June. This happened in late May, early June, when Mudrick sold 8 million shares and everyone lost their mind. Mainstream media was like, oh my God, you got to bail out. They're selling so many. It's 8 million. And then now with Robinhood, they're like, yeah, like, no, that's fine. Don't look at this. Like, are you kidding me? This is so blatantly wild. And maybe I'm being naive, But I truly think FINRA, SEC, and specifically Gary Gensler, I think Gensler is going to crush them. I really do. I hope he has the tools and resources. Maybe I'm being naively optimistic, but I truly believe that Gary Gensler is on our side. I really, really do. Just his comments, he was on CNBC, and he's hitting back. Like, he's not playing into Sorkin's game of like, oh, it's retail that's ruining the market and this stuff. He is hitting back. And my question is just, I hope he has the tools and resources and funding that he needs to do what he needs to do. I really, really do. And I hope he can pull it off, but I strongly believe Gary Gensler is on our side. All right, let's get some of these questions. We have about 10 minutes. Hey, Matt, took a look at the September 24th option change on every broker. It's down now. I find it weird considering the listed prices. It's down now. As in it's not being shown. You might want to wait for market open because that's when the options market opens, is 9:30 Eastern. Matt, sent you a Twitter DM last night about a possible fake account. Please let me know if it's a backup or a fake. Thanks for all you do. Billy Ray. No, I am Mmat_Kohrs. Mmat_Kohrs. I don't have a backup Twitter account. I don't have a backup Instagram account. My backup YouTube account is Matt Kohrs Clips. I have a backup account on Twitter or Twitch as well, which is also Mmat_Kohrs. I'm not Matt __, not Matt Kohrs official, not Matt Kohrs LLC, none of those. I am just Mmat_Kohrs. I'm a simple Matt, folks. I don't have all these fancy backup accounts on social media. Let me know if you were serious yesterday about going in on a restaurant. XOXO Riley. Matt's TRX Step co-owner. Good morning, Apes. Very emotional couple weeks, but still holding strong. Much respect for everything you do and good vibes only. Matt, could you talk about the Inverse Leverage ETF, like TZA works? Been there since February. You do an awesome job in keeping things positive. So an inverse ETF, it generally is going to track. So like, for example, there's inverse SPY ETFs. So if the SPY goes up 1%, it's structured in a way that would go down 1%. So it moves inverse to whatever it's tracking, but just in the inverse manner. You could also have leveraged ETFs. So if the SPY were to move 1%, you might find an ETF that moves 3%, and it's going to move the same proportionate or inverse manner. You could also find inverse leveraged ETFs that like they move the opposite manner in a bigger magnitude. Yeah, I mean, you're going to have those ETFs, and they're just structured in a way to do it either something the perfectly opposite or to a greater magnitude, yada, yada, yada. But there are many, many of them for many different sectors. Hey, Matt, love the show and the knowledge. Seen a lot of people claiming 212 gives you doubled shares when you sell. Is this a scam or a bug? I'm on 212 and never seen this available. Oh, brother. Yeah, so I saw that going around, and it seems like FUD to me because, I mean, let me know. Is anyone here in chat using Trading 212? Have you seen this? To me, it just sounds like something someone started saying, and it kind of like took, I don't know, got its claws into our community. But I've not seen any legitimate I guess proof of it. It might be going on. I'm just saying I have not seen anything about this concept of 212 willing to offer you double the price. Morning Melody. If you haven't checked C-Pain tweet. Oh, C-Pain. All right, let's check Charles Payne, the man. Breaking news, Robinhood to sell 97.9 million shares from early investors, the same bloated billionaire VC funds that get in dirt cheap prices. I said it on my show to be careful not to be long when lockup ends and firms begin raiding. Be nimble if you are a trader. Wow. Interesting. Interesting. My show, the lockup period ends. Robinhood lockup. What was the lockup period? The dates to watch following the Robinhood IPO. All right, maybe this is I want to hop into this, but hang on. Let me get some of these other questions done before the market opens. Good old-fashioned pay for play. Vlad dumped 1.25 million shares at IPO day 2. Yeah, he definitely sold a lot. I mean, it was priced at like $250 million, right? They are being paid for their opinions. Love you, Matt. Shout out. AMC on SSR today. Correct. Is this enough proof? Is there anyone who can hold the SEC accountable for doing their jobs? I mean, with the SEC, they're not going to announce when they're actively looking into a market maker or anything like that. Like, they don't say, hey, like, we're looking into. So for all we know, the SEC could literally be doing this stuff like right now. Here we bloody well are, and here we bloody will stay. General Vassie, Battle of Thermopylae. Good morning, bud. Not even joking. You need to clip the rant and send it to Charles Payne and post it on Twitter. Not only dead laughing, but right on point. Get it out there. Don't forget to vote. Apes, let's go. I sent you a DM screenshot about, say, received email response for 2 questions, privacy policy and count clarification. It's read-only auth for shares. The count is an aggregate of all individuals that upvote a question. Thank you so much, Gary. Okay, so just kind of confirmation of our assumption of how it was doing. Thank you for taking the time out to do that. I'll reread it. It is a read-only authorization for shares. The count is an aggregate of all individuals that upvote a question. Thank you. T12 was a glitch. They sent TMI videos confirming he posted a video. Okay, so the T212 was a glitch. Admitted it was a bug in fractional shares. What strike price did you pick? I went in on the 30s, 820 on my put. Also, ranting Matt is my fave. I think I got a couple, I believe. It's either just the 50s or the I think it's just the 50s that I got in. Ape Steven becoming a space ape. Shout out. I appreciate you joining up. We're a couple minutes out. All right. Now I want to read the dates. Ooh. This is probably good. The dates to watch, I don't have access to that article. Valuation concern. Most retail investors who bought Robinhood did so before it went public. See, this is what I don't get. Who wrote this? Robinhood closes 50% higher, joins meme stock club. How is it part of the meme stock club? Like, who? It was being discussed on Wall Street Bets, but AMC and the GME community have strongly deviated from Wall Street Bets. I know there's some overlap, but it's not like Wall Street Bets is what's driving the AMC and GME community right now. I 100% respect them for getting it started. I mean, you can't really deny that. Wall Street Bets, specifically Roaring Kitty, the guy, and it was also that community that started all of this, but obviously things changed since then. A lot has changed since then. Interesting. So we'll wait till like 15-20 minutes into the day, but just so you know, today's live stream is sponsored by Manscaped. 20% off, free shipping. So if you want Manscaped, I mean, check that out. The link it's pinned to the top of chat right now. You have to go to manscaped.com/moongang. You'll get 20% off, free shipping worldwide, just so everyone knows. And then I'll give you that official read, I don't know, 15-20 minutes into the day. You remind me of a reverse Danny Gonzalez with your Greg Love, Greg hate, evil twin. Also, Gensler was alluding to you and Trey in his interview. Kinky Kong, which interview? Because like the CNBC one, I'm assuming that you were just talking about. Because he kind of came back to, he was kind of like hating on CNBC. I like that. Hey, Matt, I'm a new ape purchased in late June, signed up for Say Technology, but didn't say I owned before June 2nd. My shares do not show. No, that's different. The June 2nd, you can own after June 2nd for that one. June 2nd was for the shareholder vote thing. This is a different vote. In 2021, we lost a child. I was in the hospital twice with COVID, and my toddler has autism. No pity party, but showing our apes that I'm hodling since February. No manipulation is going to break my diamond hands. Love you. Charlie, I'm sorry for those battles that you are fighting in your life, and I hope that this is one particular battle and war that we win for you to help make your life just that much easier. Ding, 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 folks. The casino is open. All right. We are going. Casino open. Casino is ripping. You can almost hear all the slot machines. What is that? Is that Robinhood selling off? Clutches pearls. Clutches all pearls. All right, so AMC did take out that first one I was watching. The next one is around, I think, 32.25. Robinhood looks like it's snapping through 60. I would watch 56.50. That seems to be the next support. If it goes through 56, the next level then I would be watching is around 54, and then from there I'd be watching 50. So right there, AMC actually took out my first two targets already up 8.8% on the day, up 9% on the day. AMC is coming out fighting. AMC go burr, folks. It go burr. This stream is sponsored by Apescape, right? We need high precision tools to manicure around our Kong dogs. They're trying to take buying pressure off of AMC and GME by putting those articles up. Probably some weird form, I would say, of stock bashing. Some weird form. All right, what is this one? A Reddit post. Hang on, might have an important Reddit post. Huh. Okay, AMC currently at 31.50 for my audio listeners, and then GME is just south of 149. Remember, I very, very much like to wait those first 15 minutes of the day just to see how things are shaking out. Let's do a quick Ortex check to see if anything changed right out of the gate. Nope. Still the 1.24 million borrow against AMC, and in terms of GME, they've net return of 215,000, but still that has a short interest of 16.47%. Hey man, I'm a new ape purchase in late June. Sign up for Say Technology. However, my shares. Yeah, no. That is a different vote. The June 2nd thing is a different vote than the Say Technologies. As long as you've had your shares for more than 2 trading days, that means that the trade is settled and you should be good to go from that moment. Can you please explain how FTDs can impact share price at the end of the T plus 31? We've been through this T31, T35, T25, and we haven't really seen an impact yet. So I think the whole T settlement is, it's just kind of setting up expectations that I don't think are going to be met because we've been through this many times before. Yeah, this T35 black dog hunting. I mean, a lot of people are asking 35, 31, and even right there, all those numbers, the fact that I think people are really playing into it because we're clearly seeing so many different dates. Like even that, I've seen T20, T25, T31, and T35. Like people are just putting out comments and commentary. And we've seen this now for the past 6 months, really strongly in the past 4 months, and it has not really led to anything tradable, anything actionable previously. So with it, I mean, I would go into it neutral and maybe fingers crossed for something good, but I'm not going to get in any way get anyone's hopes up for that. I don't think this T, whatever number you want to throw past it, I just don't think it's really going to lead to anything. All right, what else do we have? All right, AMC currently at 30.45, GME at 149. 149. Let's get some. I feel like I've been ranting a lot already today. It's going to be one of those days, folks. All right. We have AMC up. Good. What else do we have going on? All right. Let me see if there's any breaking news on Twitter to cover. Because the majority of our revenue is transaction-based, including payment for order flow, reduced spreads in security pricing, reduced levels of trading activity generally, changes in our business relations with market makers, and any new regulation of bans of payment for order flow and similar practices may result in reduced profitability, increasing compliance costs, and expand potential of negative publicity. That is obviously from Robinhood. I believe in their own IPO putting that out. They even said it, because a majority of our revenue is transaction-based, including payment for order flow, PFOF, reducing spreads is a risk to them. And then Dave Lauer said, you run a good business when a beneficial outcome for your clients is a threat to your business. Dave Lauer nailed that one on the head. And it's for that reason that I'm shorting them. It was working. All right, what else are we looking at? For those who missed it, the full 15 segment of Gary Gensler on CNBC today, I must say it came from it feeling good. Of course, we need action before we bust out a miracle ban, but grill game in of an ounce of. All right. So I'm kind of curious. Maybe I missed that part of the Gensler one. So obviously Gary Gensler did not name Trey or myself by name, but people are saying that he was like alluding to YouTube and like kind of social media. If anyone could, I would appreciate it if you could just send me the link where I could watch that. So I saw a part of the interview, but I didn't see a part where it was like specific to like YouTube or anything like that. Man, just no doubt that the price action between Hood and AMC are connected. Ape Strong's here, but correlation is happening. It's interesting. I don't think there's much correlation. You can't draw a correlation in a stock that's only been trading for a couple of days. You can, but it would be very weak correlation. And remember, correlation and causation don't necessarily go together. I mean, right now, AMC's up 2.2% and GME's down, Robinhood is down 11%. That's not really much correlation, and the charts don't look really inverse of each other. Actually, all four of the charts we have up right now, the ones that look kind of similar, GME and Robinhood look kind of similar, but even that's a bit of a stretch. On an intraday basis, on the four things I have on the screen right now, I'm not really seeing stuff that's like matching up with each other directly or inversely. He basically just made the comment that they're looking at manipulation, whether it to be through institution or otherwise. Oh, okay, yeah, I think I saw that part of it. Correlation. So do you think even though we owe $2.2 billion in FTDs they are due in August are just going to get pushed to the rug? I don't know where you're seeing the $2.2 billion in FTDs. The most recent update of FTDs was that there was not $2.2 billion worth. Remember, when you look at FTDs, it's not like you add those all up. It's like a current running total. Like, for example, on a stock, it's not like you add up the closing price every single day and add that together. You look at what it's at that day. So right now on AMC, as of the first half of July, and that's what it's reported up to, that's the most recent data we have reported to us as of now is the first half of July. The FTDs were borderline non-existent, which is a very, very big inverse and change of trend from what we saw in June when there was a lot, like millions of FTDs related to AMC. So I don't know where you're getting, Austin, the $2.2 billion. All I'm letting you know is that we see this kind of every monthly cycle where people are getting jacked up about what is going on specifically with this, and just it's never come to fruition. So I don't want people's expectations to get built up that like once this 35-day cycle happens, like all of a sudden that is good means AMC is going to rip. It just hasn't happened before. And like since it hasn't happened before, like I can't sit here and be like, oh no, this is the day. Like, and everyone get ready for this day. Like, cause I don't see why that would make a difference this time around. I don't see what's different this time than all the other previous 35-day cycles. Why would they route such a high percentage of trades to dark pools if it doesn't affect the price? They're not routing such a high percentage of trades to dark pools. They're routing a high percentage to off exchange. Many people on social media are confusing this. When they're saying dark pools, they really mean off exchange, and off exchange is dark pools and market makers. Market makers right now are the ones handling a high percentage of all AMC and GME trades. And of course, there's dark pool trades, but if you're seeing any of these metrics of 60, 70, 80%, that is not dark pools. That is dark pools and market makers. And of that block, a high percentage of that overall block is market makers. 60, 70, 80% of trades. And this is where you need to watch the Dave Lauer interview. That is true for off exchange, but off exchange is not exclusively dark pools. You should be able to buy another share with this soon. Wesley, definitely planning on buying way more than that $10. You know, I'm a sucker for a discount personally. March, did you see that Bank of America filed with the SEC for a $120 billion for possible default on their 13Fs? They were down for $44 billion. Citadel uses Bank of America as well. I did not see that, all boogie. I'll have to dive into it. Makes sense. I added them all up. Thanks for clarifying. Yeah, Austin, definitely don't add those up. You're going to want, it's just the running total. Oh, and for the dark pool off exchange thing, you can get that data. Like you can get it from the FINRA transparency. Actually, I'll show you the website where you could check it out. FINRA OTC transparency. What is it? OTC FINRA OT Yeah. Okay. So very quickly, while the market is moving, this is where you can get the data. So remember, if you're looking for ATS, you go to right here. The website is otctransparency.finra.org. For dark pools, dark pool, aka alternative trading system, ATS issue right here. This is where you would look up AMC. And then you would have to go back because remember, you don't get the data right away. I think what's the most recent one that we have? Let me see. I'll get you the date. Nope. Maybe you have to go back even a little bit farther. I forget how far back you have to go. Or is it OTC? So hey, I forget it off. I'll have to look this off screen so I can find it. But anyway, ATS, alternative trading system, that's dark pool. Then you also want to look at OTC, non-ATS, non-dark pool, but this is still off exchange. This is where a majority of the trades are happening between Citadel, Virtu. You can look that up, but once again, it's also lagging data. How far back do I have to go to get this? All right, is it tier 2? Somewhere in here. Let me find this for you. Is it not a weekly report? All right. Someone in Discord, I know True Demon, we were just looking at this. Can you let me know where, like, specifically to find it in the ATS issue data, just so I could show it to the rest of the stream? So I'm going to find that off stream and then off screen here, just so I could show it to you. But it's all ATS is the dark pool. OTC means OTC as in non-ATS, still off exchange, but that's a market maker, which is not a dark pool. Market makers, it's a different connection. Dark pools and market makers are two different things, basically. But let me find the where. Why can I not find this? I thought it was in NMS tier 1. AMCR, that does not make sense. Where are you? Do I need to go like way back? Let me find it. All right, I'm going to track this down for you guys so you can all see it yourself. But once again, it is on the OTC Transparency website. You can see the official numbers for dark pools and market makers. It's just a little bit, it's lagging. Does it really matter of an off-exchange or dark pool, the same result not being reported to a lit exchange, or am I just wrong? They are all reported, and they do have a very, very different, thing going on, different mechanisms. They're very, very different. Wait, why is everyone saying remove hood? As in you guys don't want to see it fall? I mean, we could remove it. You guys are... We'll add it to the watch list. What else do we want here then? You guys, obviously, am I promoting it? I've specifically said I'm against it, and I'm actually short it right now. Do you think Vanguard is panicking or buying more? That's tough to say. I see a lot of people saying remove hood, but I don't see, like, what is everyone's reasoning? Like, why? What's going on? I'm betting against it. I think hood falls. Like, why is everyone... I need some sort of reasoning, like what's going on. It feels like a bunch of bot accounts just... it's on tier 2. You just mistyped it. NMS tier 2. Thank you. Okay, I mistyped it. That makes sense. That tracks. AMC tier 2. AMC... Oh, there we go. All right, let's go to the... It's on tier 2, that's why, folks. And it looks like it's good up until AMC. Okay, so it's good as of... There we go. ATS, total trades, total shares. All right, so this is, hang on, let me do this for you. All right, AMC. AMC. Okay, AMC once again. All right, now we have it all figured out. Two different things. Okay, so here is what you do if you come to the, this is how you find it. Thank you very much, Lobo. This is how you find it. So for dark pools, to get the data, you go on ATS issue data, you type in AMC, and you go to NMS tier 2, and then you can see it, and then you click right here, and then I just picked the week of June 28th. So what you would want to do is the ATS data is weekly, so you would want to go through and add up all of the individual weeks. But let me just show you the most recent one from the month of June. AMC, the second one right here. You can see the total shares are 17 million. So if we have 17 million there, 17, let's do a quick add up. 17, then we have 27, so what's that? 27, 37, 44 million thus far. Let's go for all of June, 44 million, and then so our running total is 44, so now we're at 104 million, and then we have one more week to add up. So in the month of June, we have a total of 159 million shares of AMC. In the month of June, on a dark pool, 159 million shares. Let's call it 160 million shares. Okay, so that is for dark pools. ATS, Alternative Trading System, that's a dark pool. Month of June, AMC this year, 160 million shares were traded on a dark pool. And now, if you go to this other one, OTC, That is market makers, people who do internalizing, Citadel, Virtu. You could do the monthly. So you click on this OTC non-ATS issue data. You find AMC, you put in monthly. Let's look at the month of June. So in June, look at this, 2.7 billion. Most of these trades are not on dark pools. Yes, they are still off exchange, but we're looking at 160 million versus 2.7 billion. All of these are off exchange. Yes, I agree with you, but most are still not happening in a dark pool. They're happening right here. They're happening in market makers, Citadel, Virtu, right here, Citadel, Virtu. So I don't know why this took social media by storm, but like, here's the official report. You could see it. This is from FINRA of like what's going on. And you can check it yourself, otctransparency.finra.org. Here, I'll put this in the chat just so everyone can see it. All right, so oh wow, chat's going absolutely bonkers right now. Can you explain if a stock at $10 and 100K shares brings up to 10.1, then one sells 200 shares and brings down to 990? How does 200 kill that 100K? Because remember, it's just the current agreed upon price for the next trade. The next buyer and seller who agree to do a trade, what price are they agreeing upon? It could go up or down, and it doesn't really have any correlation with the previous size of the previous trade. It's always the next trade. The value of a stock at any given time is the most recent trade that went through, the most recent agreement between a buyer and a seller, and whatever size they agreed on. It's not like it holds the price more steady if someone bought 100,000 versus one, because it's just the most recent trade. How do I short Robinhood? I only have Webull. Well, first of all, you might need a brokerage that can actually short. And then if you don't want to short the stock, you could get, I guess, a dislike, or you could buy puts. But remember, with options are by nature a higher risk to reward asset class. So please be careful. If you're buying calls, buying puts, it's very, very risky. You can make a lot of money, but yet you can always lose a lot of money. Only because you asked, you said you wouldn't touch Hood. We hate Hood. Best way to hurt them is not giving attention or money. A dislike on YouTube is less effective than ignoring the streamer totally. What's going on? Oh, no. So yesterday I said I wasn't touching it, and then I saw how many bots were happening in trying to support Hood, and then I saw Jim Cramer's comments, so I bet against it. We hate Hood. Yeah, that's my entire point. Like, I'm betting against Hood, as in I make money on Hood if it falls. To me, it's a pump and dump. It's that simple. I'm not long on Hood. I am short on Hood. I'm looking for Hood to go down. This is another, I guess, scenario in which I very much wish I were sponsored by a hearing aid company. What are you, a dislike on YouTube? Trey Subway Cup. I'm confused with what you're saying. Oh, you're saying from the title? I could remove it from the title. That's no biggie at all, folks. If that's like what all this hubbub is about, is that's why everyone's like panties are in a twist? Done. Removed from the title. Done. Removed from the title. I guess all of you guys, you can breathe now. I don't get the fear from the alleged apes learning anything new or even being informed. Leave it up. Keep up your enemies close, and the rest of it. I mean, I don't know how to be more clear about this. Like, I am betting against it. People are acting as if I bought Hood. Like, that's insane. And apes like how sexy Hood looks in red. Yeah, I mean, if you think I'm going to somehow placate all these like sensitive keyboard warriors, Like, are you like, I feel like you haven't watched enough of my show. Even if I wanted to, now out of just like my own just ego and trolling the trolls, I will just not now remove it like whatsoever. Um, No, I did remove it from the title. I could see how the title makes it sound, because I just had AMC, GME, and Hood. I can understand how that might mean that I was supportive of Hood. So that makes logical sense to me. But to have it up on a chart and somehow it being on the chart means that I'm bullish on it. What? Like, where are you guys getting that from? Uh, bu- bu- bu. State Technologies will add totals of verified retail shoulders next quarter. Check your Twitter DMs. Okay, will do. Don't be petty. Just support AMC solely, not the enemy. How is that supporting? You guys know that going short is not supporting. Like, I'm very, very confused by this rhetoric. New Moon Gang merch. Sell life alert necklace for when price falls and can't get up. Feels like a trap. Hedge funds get apes to short Hood and set them up for a squeeze. It looks like the pump and dump was yesterday. If you think it's a trap, then don't trade it. It's really that simple. I don't tell you what to do with your money. Like, I just let you know what I did. Don't see you showing your AMC position anymore. Young mechanic, you must have been away for like many months at this point. I don't show any of my positions for various legal reasons. But I tell you my positions. I am long on AMC, I am long on GME, and I am short on Robinhood. Can you refer to them as Red Riding Hood instead? um, all right. AMC at 29 right now. All right, let's get the next level of support on AMC. Don't forget to check out this OTC transparency website. All right, let's get the daily up. All right, we're going to have to go to a different time frame to see more of a structure. So we do have some support around 27.30. Look how severely oversold it is. How severely oversold it is on the 4-hour time frame. Interesting. So the last time this happened, this oversold, was July 15th, and it bounced from there. And then another time that it happened was July 8th, and it bounced from there. And if we really start looking back, another time it happened was May 4th, and not really much action there. I mean, I'm sure on that price scale, it probably was a reaction, but all the times that there was this severe of a sell-off, it was followed. I mean, most recently, the past 3 times, it did bounce like right after. Stephen R, who's switching that narrative? I see no one switching the narrative, and in fact, just like the math doesn't support it. That, I mean, on June 2nd, there was 140 million shares on loan, and then 2 days later, it went down to 110 million. So that was only 30 million of 140 million, or 314. So that was not all of the shorts covering. All right. So in terms of support, once again, 27.30, and then also 24.50. Let me get this marked out. Just where we saw this previous 27.33. But honestly, it might not even get there because the RSI is so brutally beaten down that it's probably natural for a reversion play. Weeks ago, sure, you can change your mind, but don't we hate Hood and don't look like it's all day, even red or green, just perspective, bud. Trey Subway cup. I don't know what is in your cup this morning, but you just said it yourself. You hate it. and I wasn't touching it until I saw the amount of bots trying to promote it yesterday. Isn't the name of the game to make more money for AMC, to get money into AMC? Trey Subway Cup. I don't know what's in your cup this morning, but you might want to like think about what you're saying here, man. Like honestly. What else do we have? What other questions? Hey, can you put Hood back in the title? Why are people mad you're making money off Hood's fail? Literally no clue. It blows my mind. I don't get the fear from alleged apes learning anything new or even being informed. Leave it up for your enemies. Close the rest of it. As in, this concept of like, if something's happening and just ignore it, think about the new apes that might be coming in thinking it's a good buy. Wouldn't you want someone actively pointing out the potential issues with it? Or do you want newer apes or even just anyone, they don't even have to be newer apes, to be like, oh, I see it going. I want to spend money on this. Like, isn't that a better thing to like be able to speak out and be like, hang on, this is actually very, very bad to consider. The apes, I guess, concept that if you don't like something, just don't talk about it. Like that's bad because you want the truth out there. The entire point of this is to get the truth out there and let people know what's going on. Think about the thousands of people who might have not known anything about Hood and now at least know my opinion that it's facing very serious issues, and they now might be second guessing themselves of if they should be investing in it, and they like might want to look at other aspects and see what I said is true about it or not. At least look into it. The mindset is so backwards. I'm not telling you to trade it, but think about how many people might now be like, okay, hang on, like Hood does seem a little bit sketchy. I brought up the fact that so many people are selling. They sold 12.5% of it. So this rhetoric that you should just like put your hand in the sand, put your head in the sand and be like, oh, no, that's not happening at all. I'm telling people, I think Hood is very, very dangerous. It's down 13%. It looks weak. I'm trying to give people a word of caution that it's a very dangerous investment if you're getting into it. So this concept of like, no, let's just avoid it because it's Robinhood and we heard about Robinhood and we don't even want to like pay attention to it. A lot of you are thinking about this severely backwards. I am short on Robinhood. I think it's very bad, and I'm letting people know that it's incredibly risky, and I think it's bad to be long on it. That's my own opinion. And like, it just blows my mind. They're like, oh, let's just ignore it. Like, that is not trading, folks. You don't just ignore things. Made almost 3K on Hood yesterday and bought AMC with all the money. Shout out Ernie. I stand with Trey Subway Cup. No buy short Hood. Then don't do it, Charles. That's fine. Would SSR not seem to matter because the stock should be flying up so they can just consistently short anyway because it would be going up? Would SSR matter when the stock would be flying? Correct. Because SSR is occurring when it's only like if it's uptrending when SSR is on, you can still short then. Pen to acquire Score Media, SCR. SCR is up 59%, which is great, but they are suppressing Pen stock and they would let it pop, in my honest opinion. Sep calls for the win. So I'm in my like retirement account, have Pen, but I really haven't been paying attention to it. Just in general, in the gambling industry, I'm bullish on it. As more and more states legalize it, I think it's going to do well. I think we have a combination of paid trolls from both short hedge funds and Robinhood. I feel that, but I know Trey Subway Cup is not a paid thing, so I don't know like what his comments are about today. Trey Subway Cup, feel free to DM me if you want to talk, because I know he's not a paid thing, a paid shell or anything, but it seems like the more people that are trying to support Robinhood, the more bearish on it I get. It feels very much like a pump and dump. It's down 16, 17% today. It looks like it's coming down to me. But if your like knee jerk reaction is I just don't want to look at it because it's Robinhood, like what? Bennett Alexander, message retracted. It's amazing how many people can't walk and chew bubble gum at the same time. It exists, therefore we short it. Oh man. My shares I added to the vote count Monday, logged in today, and half are not being represented now. All my accounts linked and shares still there. It might be a settlement thing. Like, I don't know how recently you purchased shares, but remember the share trade needs to settle, as in the T2 settlement, for it to be like registered that you're the owner. Right now, AMC at 29.12 and then GME at 146.41. Take a look at OCGN technical breakout. Rona vaccine catalyst earnings 25% short interest, 99% utilization. Wow. Hang on, let me check that out. OCGN. OCGN. The short interest, yeah, 26.47%, utilization 98%. Is it a technical breakout? So I would say the technical breakout is more of 772. And then from there, I would watch it at 9. But I would be very careful of considering this one to be a short squeeze. Just because it I don't know if it has a big enough community support. It definitely could short squeeze, but I haven't heard really much about OCGN in general. Like, I don't know if there's like a large base of people who are looking to buy it that could trigger a short. So maybe it'll have some sort of fundamental development if it like does really, really well. You were just mentioning that it's in the world of like Rona and all that stuff. So it does well. That could trigger some big breakout and squeeze the shorts, but I haven't been tracking it closely enough. Made an Apex clearing account to link to say, tried to log on to Apex and password didn't work somehow. Tried to reset password, no email sent. Any insight? No, because when tried to log into Apex and password didn't work. I don't know. Maybe you might need to make a new Apex account, or maybe there's a small typo in your password. Not too sure there. Mike, becoming an astronaut, shout out. Brando, that's probably a volatility thing. Remember, options, calls, puts, it's a very high risk to reward derivative. I know she burned you, but look at MVIS. How's MVIS looking? Whoa. What was there an announcement or something on MVIS? Huge gap up. I'm not the one to really chase this, especially because resistance is 1523. But if you get that movement, that could be interesting. 15. Yeah, if it breaks above it, I mean, then you'd have to watch 1620, something like that. But man, GME popping, going from, man, 148.88. Nice pop on the day. Time for more charts. Oh, brother. 8-Man Dan. Shout out Ernie. What's your price target for Hood? I don't know. I'm just kind of riding it out. I mean, with more and more people selling it, these insiders, I don't see how it sustains. I don't see how a company will do well in general when it treats its customers like crap. I just don't see how that's possible. Boot every moron. Shout out Marcy. Can I get an old brother for all the paid shills? Feels like it. Are you going to sell your AMC shares if your shorts get margin called on Hood? Maybe the hedge funds plan. My short, I don't have shorts. I have puts, so I'm not going to get margin called. most apes have less liquidity than you do. Okay, that's fine. I'm not telling people to do it. You don't have to take it. I'm explaining. I am here to let people know that Robinhood's crazy run yesterday, I don't think it's going to last. So I don't want people to put money in it. And then when I saw how many people were basically all these bots or paid shills to promote it, I was like, it looks like it's going to tumble. And guess what? It's down 14.6% as I'm speaking right now. So for me, I'm like, all right, that was actually a good play. It seems like the bots were trying to pump it. It seems like the shills were trying to pump it. I'm not going to get margin called because it's not a short. I bought puts. The most I'm risking is the puts that I bought. So that's like my risk is capped if it goes to zero. But I don't know, this concept of like, just don't do it. I mean, I already expressed this. There are so many new people who are going to be looking at it thinking that like, oh, should I put my money into it? Can I make more money? And no, I'm out here saying that it's very, very dangerous. I don't think people should be putting money into Robinhood, but that's my own opinion. Everyone is in charge of their own money. You got to do what you got to do. But just to like hide and be like, no, I can't talk about it. Like, what? I miss the magnets. David, we could get up some magnets for you. But Brad, my price target, riding the trend. I want to see what happens on a snap of 50. So as I was about to respond to someone talking. Oh, interesting. Interesting. All right, now that chat is a little bit more calm, I'll repost this so you guys can get the website. But once again, it is otctransparency.finra.org. I'll post this back in chat just so you guys can see it now that there are less chats. So just posted it right there. You might have to scroll back a little bit. Feels like a rough morning. Hang in there. Shout out, Carl. You said you were shorting it. Puts are different. Best way to cover AMC shorts is to force apes to selling them. Don't mess with the hood. No, because you're net short. If you own puts or if you go short, you have a net short position. That's, I guess, just a misunderstanding in terminology. If you own puts, you are net short. Buy 5 shares every day plus more when I can. I'm hurting apes when I write covered calls above 100. So I got this question and I thought a lot about it and I don't see really how. Maybe you are, if someone buys it off you, that's an ape and then you're taking money from them. I've tried to think a lot about covered calls with AMC, like mechanically, if you're selling covered calls, of how it could hurt. I can't really come up with a way. The only thing I could come up with is the person who buys it off of you might be another ape, and then if it doesn't go, then another ape might be losing money. That's the only thing I could come up with in terms of covered calls, but there might be something else out there that I just like haven't thought of quite yet. Make money, short the company you don't want to succeed, aka hood, make money on the way down, then buy more AMC. What is hard to understand? It's a good question. Very good question. Well, Matt, what happened? Would you buy AMC right now? And by the way, what's brown and sticky? A stick. Haha, good morning. So right now, I know there is support. Well, kind of from the pre-market, we know there's support right around here. 28.57 here. I can mark that out. Right there. 28.57. That's the pre-market, so that'll act as support, but it looks like it's building a base a little bit sooner, right around 29. And then below that, we also have 27.30-ish from just like previous daily chart action that we've been seeing. So that is some support here. Let me get auto back on. Those ones, for me, I like to buy at support. I think I prefer to buy on discount at support. What happened, just in general, the selling pressure is overwhelming the buying pressure right now, whether that's manipulated pressure and we're not seeing it the full picture, that's obviously a possibility. But when it comes down to it, what we're seeing is just the selling pressure is outweighing the buying pressure. On the SPY count, DD, I think it would be worth noting that many potentially hold shares in different brokerage accounts that would have only linked to one, thereby underrepresenting their full position. Yeah, that is a possibility, but remember there's so many that have voted right now, and I think people should vote, but obviously if you have some cybersecurity concerns or something like that, if it's not for you, okay, don't vote. But if people have 1, 2, 3 accounts, I don't know how many people have multiple accounts, so I don't know how much it would actually alter the average when right now we have most recently, we're already looking at 39,000 votes. So I don't know what percentage might have multiple accounts and that it could have an impact, but what if in your multiple account, what if you have less than what you already reported, it could come down? It's not like it's always going to continually go up as more and more people report their accounts. So that's a tough thing to say. If AMC lands on 6969 and it goes on the right, deal for the love of Kim Kong. If AMC lands on 6969, sure. Why not? Why not? Why not? I'll def DM you offline when I can. That's cool. I mean, this is it. Is people even like that? Trey Subway Cup right now, we're on the same side. People on the same side can have a disagreement, and yet you still have a conversation about it. People can still be humans, and instead, like, people want this drama and this internet fighting. No. Trey Subway Cup, do I like him? Does he like me? Yeah. Can we disagree on things? Of course. Are we still fighting the ape fight? Of course. Everyone, like, it's okay to have a respectful disagreement. And I think for some reason with the rise of the internet or something like that, people think you can't do that anymore. It is okay to be respectful, disagree, and have an adult conversation about things. And then all of a sudden people are like, oh, wait. 2 people in the community are saying something different. Like, they must be fighting. They must be against each other. That's not true. You can be an adult and have a respectful disagreement conversation, and maybe you meet somewhere in the middle. That's what it's all about. You can do this, folks. It's okay to talk, discuss things, and it's going to be okay. You don't have to fight. Like, I think sometimes, and this isn't even necessarily this community, but like the internet at large, like, it loves this drama, it loves this fighting, and it gets way too wild and out of hand. And I think people don't be like, hang on, like, let's just talk. Let's see. You have to hear the other person out, and maybe you're misunderstanding an argument. You talk, you try to understand each other's opinion in a respectful manner. That's how conversations and adult, really, I guess, commentary should go back and forth. Hi. I'm say. All right. It does, I believe, if I'm reading this right, it does look like we're going to be doing an interview today, hopping on Fox this afternoon. I'll let you know a specific time when it's available, when they send it to me, but it looks like I'll be hanging out a little bit with Charles Payne today. Hanging out with the man. MooTube. Matt is so hot. MooTube, you're so hot. You're the hot one. What's up with Trey? What do you mean, what's up with Trey? He's posting content. He's not going anywhere. Not going anywhere. Matt, trying to understand candles on the 1 minute on red candles. Why does less volume drop the price by a bigger percentage? Because volume doesn't necessarily have to correlate with the size of it at all. You can have one tick within that bar, but if it's on a very low price, you could have a dramatic drop. More volume on green candles with less movement. Carla, I see what you're saying, but remember, volume is commonly, when you see more volume, you see a bigger candle, but it doesn't have to be that way. Let's say in the next 3-minute bar that we're looking at here, there is a possibility in the next 3-minute bar that there's one trade in that entire 3-minute period, and it could be all the way up at 33. It could be down. Like it doesn't necessarily have to work that way. Hedge funds are using profits from hedging via puts and calls on their short positions to pay for the interest indefinitely, never really having to cover through a combination of endless shares on loan, naked shorts, and OTC routing. Please prove this wrong. They don't have an endless amount of money because money per hedge fund is finite. Naked shorts, the SEC, as we make more and more of our, I guess, more and more of a bigger wake as our voices are heard, the SEC will be looking into it. And OTC routing, what I don't know how, I can think of no mechanism in which OTC routing is hindering a squeeze. And my reasoning for that is June 2nd and then also late January. At that point in time, all of the things you just said were still true and were still happening. And yet we saw the incredible run up on June 2nd in AMC, and in late January, we saw the incredible run up in GME. So all those things happened in still the environment that we're dealing with now. Matt, will you mention the say share results on Charles Payne's show? I mean, if he asks me, you usually I just get to answer the questions that he asks. So he can't be like, hey, Matt, what do you think about barbecue chicken? And I can't be like, Mr. Payne, I love barbecue chicken, but let's talk about Say Technologies. I can't hijack the show on him. I need to answer the questions that he asks me. I said shares on loan, not money, not really to cover their combination of endless. There are not endless shares on loan. There is people have to be willing to loan out their shares. So there isn't endless shares on loan. That's what utilization is. Once you get to 100%, the amount of shares on loan, they drastically drop, and they only increase by the amount of new people willing to lend it out. There isn't endless shares on loan. That's why we track the utilization. I completely agree. Everything you said on Robinhood, it just doesn't make sense, and we need to talk about it and stay open-minded and notice all of the possible hedge influence pump and dumps like Wendy's. Stay strong. Shout out Charlie. Jackie. Oh, that's wild. Oh, that's wild. That's funny. That's funny. That's funny. AMC bouncing off of 29, and it's currently coming back up to 30. The red-green move is 29.84. So let's actually use this 29.84. So this is the red-green move, and AMC about to go green, Hey, let's stand up for AMC going green, folks. Let's stand up for AMC going green. Going green, going green, going green, green, green. How to turn off on Robinhood? How to turn what off on Robinhood? If you're talking about share lending, I believe you have to have Robinhood Gold, and you could turn off share lending. You will not be able to turn off payment for order flow, though. From NEPA to Fox Business, get him, brother. Shout out, Jason. Oh, folks. Okay, this is a great time. Shout out to today's sponsor as we're about to go green on AMC. Manscaped bringing us green. And folks, check this out. Check out what I have for you on this one. Check this out right here. Boom. Manscaped cleared for takeoff. Your balls will thank you. You know what else is cleared for takeoff? AMC. Shout out to today's sponsor, Manscaped. Attention listeners across the galaxy, all the way from Australia to Houston, do we have a pube problem? If so, our friends at Manscaped have cleared you for takeoff with our 4th generation brand new Lawnmower 4.0. Kick your pubes to the next planet with the Performance Package 4.0. The orbits in your pants will feel like you're just in zero gravity when you use the best tools for the job from the leaders in male grooming. Join the 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped and get your rocket ready for takeoff by going to manscaped.com/moongang for 20% off and free shipping. I have to be honest, they've sent me some of their gear. Trimmers are awesome. I really like the toiletry kit. It's this nice leather thing that says Manscaped. And then on top of that, they have cool like nose razors. They actually have very comfortable underwear. If I'm being completely honest, I'm wearing Manscaped underwear right now. Very, very comfy. Check it out. The website's right above. Manscaped.com/moongig. You could just click on the comment. It's pinned to the top of chat. Get 20% off and free shipping by going to manscaped.com/moongang. That's 20% off and free shipping by going to manscaped.com/moongang for a clean trinity and beyond. Your space balls will thank you. The fact that their official ad read right now is getting more into space and going to the moon. And then they also built out this awesome GIF. Like, I love this. Let's watch it one more time. Manscaped cleared for takeoff right when AMC goes green. You gotta like it. So if that's something you're in, check it out. You could get a discount, free shipping worldwide. They're definitely expanding, cool stuff. But thank you for sponsoring this stream, Manscaped. Cleared for takeoff. Proof or ban on underwear. I guess I could show that on my OnlyFans later, but I truly am wearing Manscaped underwear right now. It's downtimes like these. The extra effort you show in keeping people calm and informed is underappreciated. Thank you for everything. Yeah, sometimes I am shepherding a bunch of lost kittens, but that's okay. That's what I like doing. That's what I'm here. I'm an ape, folks. I'm an ape. I love AMC. I love GME, and I hate Robinhood. It's that simple. Happy balls to Matt Kohrs. I have sold my position on dips, bought back in. I just turned my 100 shares into 200 today. How bad is that for the stock price? So you took a risk and it ended up paying off, but like you are also timing the market. So if it went the other way, you could have heard it. So really, I guess in a way you could argue you were a net benefit because you bought more, but you also kind of got lucky with timing the market that it worked out in your favor. So that's possible, but just I hope you're good at timing the market if you continue with that. But trade how you want. I trade how I want. You trade how you want. And that's fine because there are various trading methodologies that work for various people. There's not one perfect methodology. I just let you know my methodology. Make it rain green, AMC Matt. Can you check out ZY? Got some 17.5 calls, 820, and it was at 12 earlier today. Gap up possibility. I mean, it always has the possibility of gapping up. Oh, you're saying like filling the gap. Ryan Newman, if I were you, I mean, I have no position. I have no idea what's going on with this, but I would just ride the trend as long as it's tracking upward. I mean, the trend is your friend. Ride out the trend. But what's your goal? Like, are you looking for a gap fill? Are you trying to ride the trend? Are you looking for a certain profit? You should have a well-established trading plan by now, especially since you've already entered into it. Make it rain. What's going on, Felix? What's going on, Ryan? AMC battling it out at the red-green price level, which is 29.84, currently trading like just below it. GME is green. It's trading at 149. Hood down by 12%. Someone said Reddit is down. Is that true? We've seen these types of shenanigans before. Let's see. Ooh. No, it's not down. It's it loaded for me. Might be like some internet issues, or maybe it's regional. But looking good. Someone was asking for Ortex. Ortex. Nope, that's this one. AMC. Short interest of 15.39%, shares on loan 100 million, utilization 92, and since then we've increased by a net of 1.23 million. Short interest now up to essentially 15.6% on AMC. In terms of GME, net return of 464,000 today. Short interest actually still 16% though. Interesting. From yesterday to today, AMC GME, short interest, shares on loan, utilization, all of them have increased. Happy birthday, Matt. Tomorrow is my 23rd. Hey, happy early birthday. Heard a rumor Nasdaq is out of AMC stock. Yeah, I saw some people saying out of stock. You can't, looks like there's a spike in Reddit report. Oh, so maybe it is regional and maybe I'm just like not in that region. You can't be out of stock. You buy stock from a willing seller. Like, it's not like there's a pool of free AMC shares. When people are saying out of it, they most likely refer to shares for shorting of like, oh, no more people are willing to lend it. But even that's not true. On some brokerages, it might be true. But across all major brokerages, there's still about 10 million more to go that could be loaned out. But this concept of being out of stock is just never true because you're always buying it from a current willing seller. And right now, I mean, how could it be out of stock? Look at all the sellers just on the New York Stock Exchange alone. 300, 200, 100, 300, 200, 201, 800. All these people are willing sellers. You're never out of stock. It's not like there's a pool. Like, you're just buying it from someone who's willing to sell it. It's that, I don't know. I don't know where people are getting this. But you're never out. An exchange is never out because an exchange is just facilitating connecting a buyer to a seller. They're like, hey, you're a buyer. Hey, you're a seller. Do you agree on the price? Cool. We'll transfer the shares. It's not like the NASDAQ or the New York Stock Exchange has like a finite pool and you're buying from that pool. That's not how it works. A buyer and a seller come to the pool, the watering hole, and they exchange shares on the lit exchange. And they actually do that on a dark exchange. And really, they do it on an OTC market maker as well. In that case, the market maker might have a pool of shares, but that's a different scenario. So when you're hearing out of, the only thing that would reasonably connect to is out of shares to loan. So that's more so referring to a short thing. But people are never going to be out of shares to buy because like there's always people selling. Like right now, you could see it. There's thousands of shares right here that on the New York Stock Exchange alone are willing, like these are all the sellers. It's not the exchange itself, it's people on the exchange utilizing it. Non-AMC related, if I sell a covered call a week out and a strike price of 46 example on a Monday or Tuesday and it goes over the strike briefly, will I be assigned then? No, the assignment is on expiration. So yeah, I mean, well, it gets a little bit more hairy than that because technically it's the owner who can choose when to exercise. So this isn't going to be a perfect answer. Like this won't hold true in all scenarios, but you will most likely be good until the date of expiration. If it pops over it, I don't think like I said, because like there's not a perfect answer because like there are certain scenarios and really it does depend on the person who bought it from you if they decide they want to exercise it. But you're probably going to be good up until expiration and not the quick pop over. But there's not a perfect answer to that because there are different scenarios. Trey's Cat Titan. Hearing AMC share count will now be private and won't actually see it. Curious if you heard the same and thought. I have not heard that. The share count being done right now, it's not really being done by AMC. We're seeing it on the Say Technologies website. It's not like there's a different one happening that AMC is running. So I don't know where people, that sounds like FUD to me. It's not private. We can see it on Say Technologies like right now. Do they drive the price down hoping for a panic sell-off to make it cheap as possible to start covering shorts? Yeah, I mean, on a day-to-day basis, that is going to be their overall goal. Make it rain green. I like that. Make it rain green. All right, what else do we have going on? Let's check out some of the breaking news, if there is any. AMC is green. GME is green. Is IWM green? IWM is green. And you know what's red? Robinhood. All right, what breaking news do we have, if anything, or is it more of a quiet Thursday? Anything about AMC? Leveling the playing field. Dave Lauer, looks like he did another interview on CNBC. Here's a link, raising awareness of the duopoly of the market, retail orders being sent off exchange. Yeah, I don't know where that got started, of this concept that all of these trades were happening on dark pools. They're happening off exchange, but most of them are happening with market makers and not dark pools. And we see that that's being, like, we see that data. Hood down 11%. This is news. Stockholders filed to sell 98 million shares. The flow yesterday was bearish. Shout out to Unusual Whales. Excuse me. Excuse me. What else do we have? Not seeing more bots. Of course there's bots. All right. That's not what he means. The user's 200 shares buy orders cannot be filled on the lit exchange. Only 100 could be filled. The broker told them they could not locate the other 100 on the lit. User posted the entire interaction. I mean, I guess I would have to see it, but still, like, you can, if there's a willing seller, you can buy it off the willing seller. All of these on the right side, all of these people are willing sellers. You could buy it, you could buy it, you could buy it, you could buy it. So I don't know what this user is saying, but in general, there's going to be, like, right now we can see a bunch of willing sellers. Today there was 30.5 million shares sold and there was 30.5 million shares bought. For every buyer there is a seller, for every seller there is a buyer. You're not buying from the pool on the exchange. The exchange is what just facilitates connecting the buyer to the seller. So I'm saying that generally I haven't seen any of these screenshots or anything like that, so I'd have to look into it. Do you still maintain your stance on payment for order flow in OTC market and its effect on AMC? What do you mean, what do you think my stance is? At no point have I said that payment for order flow is a good thing. I've said it's a bad thing, and I've said there's a good chance that I'm against it for a different reason than other people. But I think payment for order flow is bad. I've literally never said payment for order flow is good. I'd say we need to get rid of it. And OTC markets, I mean, do I maintain my stance? You mean my stance where I've, like, continually pointed out how the fact that we have a duopoly of Citadel Securities and Virtu is harmful to the overall market, and it's widening the spread and costing our market participants billions of dollars a year? Yeah, no, I still maintain that. Matt, a friend of mine just got a call from his broker saying he should diversify his portfolio and not have so much meme stocks, buying more. Come in hand on the 1 minute AMC breakout. I like it. I like it. I like it. You were looking at this cup and handle. Good eye, good eye. Anyway, walk-in though, if you could, like I said, I haven't seen that. I believe you're referring to Twitter. If you could DM it to me, that would be awesome so I could look into it about the user's interaction, I believe, with NASDAQ. Can I buy and sell options many times in 1 week without any problem? You can if you're above PDT on a margin account. If you're in the US, you still have to consider PDT if you're on a margin account and you're below that. The same rules still apply. Bloom goes the dynamite. We're looking green. All right, so it looks like there are some outages for Reddit. Show us your underwear. Mr. Boulay. Matt, you own some? I do own some. Can you look up the short interest on Pinterest? I can. In Pinterest, the short interest on Pinterest is very low, 4.66%. I respectfully disagree with having a respectful disagreement. All right, can I check out Disney? What is up with Disney? Look at that. GME breaking out above 150. Whoa, Disney. Oh, okay, it's bouncing back. Disney not really doing much right now. Bouncing off of 172. I think it could have a follow through to 179, and then after that, I'd watch 181. But overall, it's just kind of some sideways chop, not really trending. What else do we have? Some people are asking about FAV. What is FAV? Not a stock. Is it FUV, do you mean? FUV? Low volume, not really traded, but it looks like it's attempting to break out. If you want to be aggressive, you could buy it, but just understand that it is a risk. It could get rejected right here at 833. But if it gets above 833, I would then watch 21. But it depends on how much you like. I don't know what's going on with this company. I don't know what it does or doesn't do or anything like that. But I don't know if it's for me. People are asking about MMAT. Looks like it's still pretty weak to me. I don't see any buyers stepping in on MMAT. CTRM, I do not like CTRM. I mean, and it's just because I don't like the marine shipping industry. I mean, if you look at this, all they do, like, look how bad this chart is. It was never actually trading up here. It's just because they've done so many reverse splits, that it's going up. So if you're in it, it might be a very quick, like a good quick trade, but I just don't touch it because I don't like this industry whatsoever. You can make money on it, but man, it's a tough trade. To me, it's not a long-term investment. I've never seen a marine shipping company that I'm like, oh, I want to get into it. They all just seem very, very weak to me. The industry as a whole, a lot of like legality issues. They do sketchy stuff. It's just an industry I tend to stay away from, especially as a long-term investment. If you see a technical breakout and you want to like hop onto it and make a quick couple points here and there, okay, maybe, but I'm not going to do it. Neo, people are asking about Neo, also looking strong. Actually has like somewhat of a nice trend line breakout. Look for Neo. Interesting. 46.47. Neo might get some momentum going. Looking bullish on Neo. Neo for me is a long-term investment in my retirement account. I don't really actively trade it, but I do own some. I know we try to stay away from maritime stocks, but CTRM is a nice boom candle. Could be a little play short term. Yeah, if I were to play it, which I'm not going to, a little bit of a short term, but to me, I would not invest in it. How does the volume look to you today? Gary, I don't know what stock. GME's still kind of light, below 1,789,000. AMC's 33 million. That's okay. We've seen much higher, but all except 33 million. I mean, we're only an hour and 15 minutes into the day. With that in mind, that's actually pretty good volume for only 75 minutes worth of trading. Can you look at the AMD chart? AMD, I mean, I can't tell you where it's going because it's a new all-time high yesterday. Looks like it finally is taking a bit of a breather. Huge run up, taking a breather now. I'm assuming the RSI is extremely overbought, so it's probably just taking a breather. I'm still in it. I really like the semiconductor industry. NVIDIA is my favorite, and I still like AMD. I still like Intel. I just like NVIDIA a lot, but I do own all three. But as for where to go, I mean, right now I would just watch 122.50, and after that, you have to let price discovery play itself out. You could do some sort of Fibonacci level thing. That's a possibility for sure, but I don't know if it works as much as it doesn't work. China lockdown in Wuhan, 11 million people ordered to stay inside. Our government will push for the next shutdown unless they close the doors to China. Is this, let me see if I can confirm that. Because that would kind of be a big deal. I feel like Zero Hedge or Walter Bloomberg would have that. AMC is cooking. BlackRock delays office return to October amid variant concerns. Seeing that. ETH, Ethereum is surging. Ethereum. I'm not seeing Wuhan news. I feel like that would be all over. Wildfire tears through North Carolina. Let me see. Some news. China's spiraling Delta variant outbreak hits Wuhan as country introduces mass travel restrictions. That was 12 hours ago on CNN. So this is being reported by CNN. China's spiraling Delta variant outbreak hits Wuhan as country introduces mass travel restrictions. And apparently I'm using ad blocker. So that's, let's see what's going on. AMC trucking along though. AMC trucking. It is at 31.50, up 5.5% on the day. GME's up 3% on the day. Robinhood is down 10% on the day. Looking good there. I'm trying to understand. The city of 11 million people was placed under the world's first and arguably strictest coronavirus lockdown in January 2020 during the height of the devastating initial outbreak. I don't know if it's a new, it looks like there's a lot of traveling restrictions, I believe. This stuff is like, it's weird for me to talk about, not as a person. Like, I don't care about talking about it. I think people should be informed, but like YouTube can get real weird about it. Like super weird about like if you're saying those words, like you're gonna get Google mods in here. You're gonna get like potentially like if you say it wrong, you can get like they freak out if you talk about that stuff, which is weird because like right there, that's CNN. That's my source. I was reading a CNN article, but you like as a creator, you have to be very, very careful because back in like a year ago, basically a year and a half ago now at this point, they were ripping channels away from people on the information. If you talked about it, if you said the word, people were getting demonetized. If you said like pandemic or coronavirus, the video was demonetized. It was like a crazy time for creators, because like that's for a while, like almost like I always, my fail safe is just to say Rona, because that was a word that I would say, and like I knew that wouldn't get me in trouble. But it gets weird, and I don't know what's going to go on with it moving forward. Back to the tattoo bet, 40 end of week, and I get a cheese it tattooed 60 next Friday. I get an ape eating it. Will post proof. I love it. Matt, Fox News carried story. Okay, I'll check that out. Thank you, Matt's duck suspenders. Like, obviously something is happening. Fox News. I just did a quick search. China orders mass testing in Wuhan as COVID outbreak. That's on Fox News 2 days ago. Delta variant challenges in China's costly lockdown strategy. Well, here's to hoping that they get this all under control very, very quickly. So I know for people who are very political, it looks like both Fox and CNN are saying something similar. So if that's your test of like, oh, okay, like to me, like the fact that both are saying something similar, I'm like, all right, it has probably a little bit more legitimacy. So for everyone saying like the other one's fake news, no, you're fake news, no, you're fake news. Well, I don't know. They're probably both fake news if we're being honest. But they are both reporting upon that. AMC is cooking. 8.5%. We are in the green. Boom goes the dynamite. Can this possibly be some shorts covering? Yeah, I mean, buying is buying. It could be some. Do I think it's necessarily that? Not really, because we're not seeing the biggest volume spike. So if it is, it's a small amount, but we'll know more in 2 days. Matt, do you think small caps are running because IWM isn't getting shorted by hedges now? Also, can you please check Sava? No, I think something else is going on with IWM, probably related to government and lockdown stuff. That's definitely a bigger driving force. Sava. El Randall, I don't know if you're listening, but it's coming back. I would 100 key psychological level, and after that, I would watch 112. Savo looking strong though. Look at this, AMC battling it out at its intraday high, 32.54. We were over it by 5 cents. This is where we're battling right now, folks. Matt, listen, Matt, I know you stream full time now, and I don't want to tell you how to do your job, but have you considered telling hedgies to calm down? How do I DM you? On Twitter, I'm Mmat_Kohrs. I'm Mmat_Kohrs on Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram. I am nothing else. I'm not DMing you. I'm not telling you, hey, I have the best investment opportunity you've ever heard of since sliced bread. That's not me. They're fake accounts. I don't have a WhatsApp. I don't have a Telegram. I am Mmat_Kohrs. Please check the spelling. I'm nothing else. I don't know what's going on with that stuff, but it is baloney. Will FTD's T plus 35 affect the price next week? I don't think so. We've been through this before, and I think people are setting up expectations that end up like pissing people off. Let's change the vibes in here with the new remix. Forget about Trey. You are mentioned in great message and lyrics. DM Twitter, please, or text update. I don't know if I like the sound of that. Forget about Trey. That doesn't sound nice. On GameStop, net return of 427,000 shares, short interest 16.11. On AMC, the update from this morning, it still holds. The short interest is 15.57%. Borrowed shares is 1.2 million. So that wasn't you DMing me to send you tulips. No, remember folks, my password is oh brother. If you want to know if it's me or not, just say, oh yeah, what's the password? And if they don't respond with oh brother immediately, then you know it's not me. If you're questioning if it's me, literally just ask them, what's the password? It's that simple. And then even from there, obviously check the account. But if they don't know that the password's oh brother, like right away, it's just not me. Can you explain why MVIS is up after missing earnings? I just can't figure out the market. Confused fan. I would have to look into it. I'm assuming they probably raised guidance or something like that. But I'd have to look into the earnings. I think he's talking about forget about Dre. All right, Timothy. I mean, yeah. I mean, the guy is a supporter of Trey with a T. The account name is Trey's Trades George W. Mug. I'll check that out. I noticed a lot of big orders pre-market bringing up. Is this due to SSR? No, SSR just stops shorting when the stock is trending downward. How many failure delivers are due any today, and how much does the market move into similar coverage? I think just FTD covering today. No, as of now, we don't really have any reported evidence of a large amount of FTDs for today. The most recent report we have is from the first half of July, and there weren't many at that moment in time. Hey, Margarine, can you remind us to keep things in perspective? What percentage of shorts covered in the run up to 70? The music on the Clips channels is fire. Normie Pants, I appreciate that. What percentage? Whatever 3/14 is. What is that roughly? 5, 7, not whatever. What's 3 divided by 14? I can't do that off the top of my head. I could, but you guys would see me mentally struggle. What percentage covered on that day we ran 95, 96%? The answer is roughly 20%, roughly. But that's not like there was a part of a gamma squeeze as well, so it could be even lower, but roughly in the realm of that. So not even close to a majority, not even halfway to a majority. Kind of nervous. I just shut up $2. I don't have any tattoos. Matt, if this happens, can you ask for artist referral for me? Sure, will do. Oh, brother, we're out now. It is a good movie. Wait, how do you know if this is the real Matt Kohrs? Hey, Matt, what's the password? Oh, brother. Oh, brother. They have to hit you with it. You're right. How do you know this? What if I'm not Matt Kohrs and I just stole the Matt Kohrs identity? Could be, folks. Could be. The last 3 times SSR AMC restrictions list had decently green Ds. Prior SSR didn't help AMC SEC regulations or increase dark pool causing this. We're not actually seeing SSR doesn't really connect to dark pool, because remember, you can still short or not short or buy or do whatever you want on a dark pool. Like what SSR and dark pools are 2 different parts of the market that aren't going to be related. I think people are trying to connect dark pools to a lot of things, and that's just, you have to understand where dark pools really fit in. And in doing so, like, I would highly recommend watching that interview with Dave Lauer. It's on this channel, and then we put the clips of it answering like the specific dark pool questions, the specific payment for order flow questions. All of those clips are on the Matt Kohrs Clips channels. Actually, let me just show it to you. It's this channel right here. Matt Kohrs Clips. It's the duck emoji, 7.39 thousand subscribers. And we're going to go live right after this stream ends. So we're going to have some lo-fi music, and you can watch all the charts and talk to each other during the downtime in midday. But this is it. So right when this stream ends, I'm going to fire up this stream, lo-fi music, some charts, and you guys can talk to each other if you so choose. In my opinion, it's pretty good lo-fi music. I really, really enjoy it. But just so you know, Matt Kohrs Clips, duck emoji, that's where all of the clips from the Dave Lauer interview are, like all those main clips. AMC is cooking. We're up 6.66%. The mark of the devil. The devil. Can we get some TA on AMC? I mean, this is it. It got rejected off the intraday high. After this, we're kind of looking for that run up to like roughly 33.50, 34-ish. That would be the next major stop. And then obviously that we want to just keep running from there. But that's the next level I would watch, 33.50 to 34. Watch your share count video. I didn't add my Webull shares to say because it didn't work. My Webull has more shares. Ask who else. Because you have to, if you're trying to do the Say Technology vote and you have shares on Webull, you're going to need to create an account on apexclearing.com and connect your Webull account to it. Can't super it. Kinky Kong, see my last message. Can't super it. Real Matt Kohrs has a beard you shaved with Manscaped. Let me know when you try the Dirty Dust. I challenge you to find something it's not good on. My wife loves it on popcorn. You could try it on pizza. Carl, I will. I'm excited. Thanks for what you do every day. The old boys respect you. Shout out Matt's Diamond Balls. Kinky Kong, I'm trying to find your message. The fact that I end up saying Kinky Kong like once a day during my job, pretty humorous. Kinky Kong, I'm not seeing it. You might just want to DM it to me on Twitter. Twitter. Huge cup and handle forming on AMC. Yes, this is a cup and handle. Here's the cup. We're forming the handle. It's a bullish pattern. It's a bullish pattern. We're about to see boom goes the dynamite type of a pattern. Man, I want to hang out. All right. Unfortunately, I do have some. All right, here. I'll give you a couple more minutes because I want to see how this comes. But this is the cup, the handle. This is a beauty of a pattern. It is a BEAUT of a bullish apish pattern, folks. What we're seeing right now, we just want the third test and the breakout of 32.50, and then boom goes the dynamite, off to the races. Will you ever return to normal streaming times, aka bell to bell, miss a bell to bell? Yeah, when volatility picks up, I will. But in general, August is more of a quiet month. So I've been doing like the midday breaks, and at a certain point, like this is now becoming a game of longevity. So if not much is going on in August, I think that's a good time for me to recharge my batteries. So if things pick up at the end of August, September, or even like I've been now doing it for a week or two, but it's just more of taking care of like my own physical and mental health. The bell to bell streams, I did it for 6 months straight, and it definitely wears on you. So when crazy volatility picks back up, yeah, I can go back to day to day, or bell to bell, I should say, for the day to day basis. But right now, we're not seeing the craziest things, so I just take off the midday, eat lunch, and come back. Bought 50 Robinhood shares for 1K, just sold 16 for 1K, and bought 30 more shares of AMC. Let's go. It seems like we have to rip a lot on Thursdays. Any reason for that? If true, don't forget to like and subscribe. I don't know if that correlation, I'd have to look into it. But thank you for that reminder. If you haven't done it already, I would very much appreciate if you drop a like. It helps out with the YouTube algorithm. There's 17.5 thousand people in here. I know we can pump those numbers up. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. Obviously, we live stream, we post videos. Don't forget about the other channel, Matt Kohrs Clips. We're going to be going to that channel in a couple minutes for some lo-fi music. Check them both out. But all that generic interaction, it's completely free, liking and subscribing. And it helps with the YouTube algorithm in a way that it presents it to more people, i.e. it gets more apes into Ape Nation, i.e. it makes you more money in your P&L because we have more people buying the stock. It's very much a mass community effort. So a quick reminder, and it is completely free. Hey, Matt, I really hope you see this. Don't ever put off your mental health. Thanks for all you do, bro. Christopher, I really appreciate that, man. I know a lot of people are looking out for me. Do you think the current price spike with shorts covering from any of the short positions taken in the 70 price down seems as if the shorts I mean, buying is buying. I don't know if it's people creating a position or closing a short position, but it's buying is buying, and we'll have a better indication of it 2 days later. But overall, the volume is still relatively low, and we know there's 100 million shares out on loan in terms of legal, legitimate shares. So when you start tacking in the naked shorts, I mean, the number gets even higher. Thank you, King Kong. Take care of your first and foremost. But when you're ready, I miss the bell-to-bell entertainment and info. I mean, me too. But it's just right now, the midday gives me time to like talk to my lawyers, get merch set up, do research. I mean, the reason I was able to explain the math to you in yesterday's afternoon stream is because I was studying it midday. So a lot of the times it's hard to dive into stuff when I'm streaming because there's going to be a lot of dead air. I'll just be sitting here like, oh, okay, like it'll be silent as I'm like studying and thinking and doing my own math. So sometimes there is an advantage to with that midday break. I get to eat a full lunch. And on top of that, I get to do some like more hardcore research and think of the best way to present it to everyone. The video I made yesterday, the clip explaining the hundreds of millions of shares that can't be accounted for, that wouldn't have happened if I was streaming all day because it took me time to like research and think of the best way to present it. Looks like Debbie's pissed. What did Debbie say? Kohrs has a beard. Debbie, I'm not seeing it at all. Yeah, it didn't come through. Yeah, Debbie, it's not showing up. I'm scrolling back. It looks like maybe it was a YouTube mess up. You're not eating full lunch gave me anxiety. Shout out, Alvi. Shout out. Okay, folks. So like I said, Matt Kohrs clips about to go live on that channel. It won't be me, lo-fi music, and you guys can hang out and just talk and comment and do whatever you want. And then we'll be back this afternoon. I don't know the exact time I'll be back this afternoon because I need to figure out the interview with Charles Payne, just so everyone knows. Yeah, I don't know the exact time, but I'll get that figured out and I'll tweet it out just so everyone knows. But thanks for hanging out with me this morning. As always, for me and Chair, best of luck in the markets. No matter where you are, have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Have a good one. I'll catch you guys soon. Head over to the other channel. I'll be doing an interview with Charles Payne, and then I'll be back on sometime this afternoon, and I'll let you know that time. But I will be catching all of you soon. Have a good one.